Family, food, gifts, music, parties. There's a long list of things to look forward to at Christmas time. While many anticipate this time of year for the merriment, the stress of this season can actually trigger sadness and depression for others. According to mental health therapist Jenny Lovell, finances, stress, grief, loneliness, even separation and divorce are just some of the reasons people may have the Christmas blues.
I start seeing clients coming in more numbers. Starting around about the 10th, 12th of December, I start seeing more people. I'm really busy in December. And generally, it's people who are suffering the blues. There are people who get sad. They get sad because they don't have the finances to buy gifts that they want to. They get sad because they know that in a lot of cases they're not going to receive any gifts. They're not going to be acknowledged. Their families are abroad. They can't afford to go abroad. And in Belize, we're such a transient society. We have a lot of family abroad. And the family don't come here. And that's when you begin to think about things like, oh, they don't love me because they stay over there with the ones over there. And so there's a lot of reasons why people go into a funk. And I call it a funk. There's also this thing about expectations during this season, because a lot of folks have expectations that, oh, my friends are having parties and their families and they have lots of friends and I don't. And so all these things come to the foreground at this time of year.
Also, the changes in the seasons, shorter days, longer nights, is known to be a trigger for seasonal affective disorder, which is a type of depression that is related to or worsened by the change of the seasons. Also, if you've recently lost a loved one or are grieving a loss, it may add to feeling down during the holidays.
Grief isn't something that, it happens, you're sad, and it goes away. A lot of times, if you don't go through the process and go through all the stages and come to acceptance, it accumulates. It's like a bucket. And so we have things that are accumulating and accumulating. And in December, something about December is the birth of Christ, but that's when people feel like all this grieving that comes to the foreground because we're not surrounded by loved ones, or we are and we're not happy about the way we're being treated, things like that.
What makes it more difficult for those with Christmas blues is that there's a constant pressure to be happy around this time of year. Lovell suggests allowing yourself to feel the emotions, but take action to prevent them from getting worse.
Make a list, check it twice, and make sure that you stay within your budget, right? And determine how much money you want to spend. And don't go out and use your credit cards and max out a credit card buying all kinds of things, because seriously, that would put me in depression, all right? Kids are going to love what you give them. And yes, there are some adults who might not appreciate what you have, but I believe if you think through the gifts that you give people, and they're very thoughtful gifts, people are going to appreciate the smallest items. So look, don't just go and pick up anything and hand someone. Think through it and stay within your budget. Plan ahead. That's number one. Number two, you need to prioritize things that you have to get done. If you're planning to do Christmas dinner, like I know that families get together and people share the wealth. Everybody has to do something so that no one person is left with the burden of having to do everything. Because that, again, also gets you in a sense of being resentful that nobody's helping, right? You want to make sure that you put time aside to do some form of exercise. Because exercise builds endorphins. Endorphins are the fun, healthy, happy feeling things inside your body. You want to build endorphins, you need to get the exercise. Really important. Right? Don't overindulge over the holidays, because you have to pay attention, again, to depression. People either a lot of times can't eat or they eat too much. And so you want to be paying attention, and your family members, again, need to point out things to you in a loving way, not judging, but point these things out to you.
Rely on your support system and let close friends or family know how you are feeling. If the depression is severe and you're feeling hopeless, you should seek a professional for help.
The thing is that I wouldn't put on this happy face. If I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling sad, and I'll explain to you why I'm feeling sad. We all need to have one person that we trust that we can go talk to and give to our heart, our heart's content, and share some of the burden. Whenever you have a burden. You need someone that you can share that with.
Yeah.
But I clearly would not say get out there and put on the happy face and then go home and cry. It will go away, but it will take